Hare Krishna, Pranam. So we will do text 32 to 35. Kim no Rajan Govinda, Kim Bhoger Jiviten Va, Yeshamarthe Kankshitam no, Rajyam Bhoga Sukhani cha, Ta ime vachit Vastita Yuddhe Pranams Tyaktva Dhanani cha, Acharya Pitara Vatras Tathaiva cha Pitamaha, Matula श्वसुरा पौत्रा श्याला संबंधिनास्तथा एतान्ना हन्तुम् इच्छामि ज्ञातो अपि मधुसूदना अपि त्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतो किं नु मही कृते निहत्या धार्तराष्ट्रान्ना का प्रतिसया जनार्दना. So we will see what is the meaning. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them and are now arrayed on this battlefield. O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, see how many people, teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. There are at least 9 types of, and these are in number, right? Are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me. Why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the 3 words, let alone this earth. What pleasure will be derived from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? So now what is happening? This is material life, the conception of material life. So first was compassion and second is loss of enjoyment. That arguments Arjuna is giving from 32 to 35. So what he is saying, that he feels that fighting will not give him any enjoyment, even he is victorious. Because why no enjoyment? He wants to show off his opulence and share with the society after victory. That happens, right? If I get all the things and I do not have my own kids or my own relatives there, then no point, because we really want to show off. That's what Arjun wants to do. Otherwise, why would he say that for whom I do all that? And also, if there is any need to kill his relatives, let Krishna kill them, because he doesn't want to become the sin. He doesn't want to get the sinful reactions, right? So he misuses the name Govinda. Why? He is called Govinda because meaning of Govinda is Krishna is the object of all pleasures for the cows and the senses. Govinda, right? So our senses can be satisfied by Krishna only. We think that our senses will be satisfied by our endeavor. We will satisfy. No, we are satisfied when Krishna is satisfied. This is a very, very big theme which we should remember, because all of us want happiness but we do not know how to satisfy. Our senses are never satisfied, right? So that is why Govinda is very important. How he misuses, he says that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses, right? And what is the material understanding of God for us also? That, oh, Krishna should know that I want this. Why he's not giving me this? I wanted this. Krishna did not give me. I had this. Krishna took that from me. So Krishna does not know. How does he know that how my senses will be satisfied? If he knows, if he is Govinda, if he knows how my senses can be satisfied, then why he is not satisfying my senses? So what we make of God, we make God our order supplier, that he is the satisfier of senses, so he must satisfy my senses. Doesn't matter anything, whatever I may desire, he should satisfy, because he is Govinda, he is the satisfier of senses. But what is the right conception of the name Govinda? Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve. Karma will come here, karma theory will come here, but not to the extent they might make covet, they may desire. I desire something and I'll get it. No, it doesn't happen, right? It's a very simple thing. Karma is like, if I have gone to a shop for shopping, and I liked a shirt which is of maybe say 2000 INR Indian rupees, and I have only 1000 rupees. I cannot buy that shirt because I deserve a shirt which is of 1000 rupees, because I have that much money only. So that is how karma works. Krishna will give us only what we deserve as per our karmas, right? Because Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. He is satisfied but he is not meant for satisfied. What is the right conception? How he will satisfy? Because he does satisfy our senses. How? When one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all the desires of the living entities are satisfied. That is how we do so much deity worship. People say, why to give so much milk and money to the God? People, there are so many needy people, give them. Why? God doesn't need your money, God doesn't need your milk, right? Why? What we are trying to do, devotees, what are they trying to do? That if Krishna is satisfied, everything can be satisfied. We do not have the capacity to satisfy, right? There are so many poor people. Can we make all of them rich just by our endeavor? Or there are so many hungry, thirsty people, we cannot provide for all of them. But Krishna can provide for all of them. For that, what we need to do, we need to satisfy him. Your thing is provided to you, Krishna, right? So Krishna's things only we are giving to Krishna, so that he is satisfied, and when he is satisfied, then everybody will be satisfied. That is the right conception. Very good example, very nice example which I have heard somewhere is that in this Vaishnava, this only, that when a wife works for husband, or husband works for wife, right? It looks like that the wife or the female is working all day so much just to satisfy, just to give him food and satisfy his senses. Why she is doing that? Because in that process, she herself is satisfied. She is cooking for him, but she herself is also eating, right? He is earning for her, but he is also using that money, right? So when we satisfy others, right, it looks like that we are satisfying, we are working for that person, but actually in return we get the satisfaction. This is on a lower level, on a smaller level, but we want higher, we want to satisfy higher, everybody's senses. So that is the process, that to somehow satisfy Krishna, Govinda, and it is very easy to satisfy him. Why? Because he said patram pushpam toyam, right? So patram pushpam phalam toyam, these four things only you can give with one condition. He adds, with the bhav, with the intention, with that, oh, I have this much, I want to give all I have to Krishna. A person who has 50 rupees and one who has 500 rupees, person who has 50 rupees, he donates 50 rupees, he gives 50 rupees in Krishna's temple, and a person who has 500 rupees also maybe gives 100 rupees to Krishna's temple. Who is more better? Who is satisfying the senses of Krishna more? A person who has given all his money. He is not seeing the amount we are giving, he is seeing the intention, and how much are we willing to surrender, how much we are willing to give, because we know that whatever we have is of Krishna. It is not ours, it is of Krishna. So how much are we willing to give? That matters. So satisfying Krishna is easy, and by satisfying him we can satisfy everybody, because he has the capacity to satisfy everybody. It's very, very important line, right? So we will do another one, because this is 4 verses together, so we will do more of it in the next session. Hare Krishna.